Samir Arora is with us, founder and fund manager at Helios Capital. Samir joined us yesterday morning as soon as the finance minister budget speech ended. Samir and I posted that later last night, and really lots of comments, mostly thanking you to that you expressed what a lot of people are feeling. So, any changes in the mood, thought process?
So
as I said, budget plus one.
Let me explain for everybody's benefit. Yeah. So the point is, I think that the market participants and even the government feel that the market is just dependent on other sectors. So, when the, say, Mahindra and Mahindra CEO will come, he will talk about how the budget has helped the auto sector. But if in that budget, the help had gone to quick commerce sector, then the Mahindra and Mahindra CEO will say it's an okay budget, bad budget, whatever. The point is that we should look, and the government should look, and the system should look at the market as an independent sector also. In addition to saying because it helps data centers, it will help the market. Because the market has many other factors, for example, taxes, FII taxes, liquidity, and relative this market versus that market. And so when the market is bad, like say today the textile sector is bad because of US tariffs, then the government says we are going to help the textile companies with whatever, either cheaper loans, this, that. Currently, in the last 1 year, the Indian market has done very badly. And look at it in dollar terms or more, look at it in euro terms, Swiss terms, because maybe X percent, 20, 30, whatever percent of the people might be coming from Europe and Switzerland, and they would have lost more than 20% on currency alone. So in that context, it should be at least accepted, recognized, maybe 5 lines should be said that, we are keeping a watch on this, and if it goes beyond a point, we will do. In that context, to put a charge, even if it is to squeeze liquidity of, by the way, if you see me on Twitter, hundreds of times I have said that STT should be increased on futures and options, but always accompanied by a corresponding lowering of either capital gains tax or lowering of STT for cash or doing something. So that's why this one is that we are not accepting the fact that if you get, say, $5 billion through some FDI with doing hundreds of things, you can get it in 1 hour with the FPI guy if you understand the power of the market. The FPI guys or FII guys can put 5 billion in a month or in a week, and all they need is a little bit of recognition of their role and the fact that this money is easier to get. It funds Indian promoters. All it needs is fairness and a little bit of recognition of the role of stock market per se itself.
Samir, we played out the Revenue Secretary soundbite, right? And Shireen spoke with him.
Yeah.
Now, that you just played it before we came to you. What he said is, this is not to raise revenue. This is to...
I saw it. Yeah. I saw it.
This is to...
But the fact is now you got 15,000 crores, so please give it to the other side.
I am asking you whether this is actually even... Because it seems like it's kind of, they're taking a stance. So it's ideological in that sense, that we want to curb speculation.
I don't myself, by the way, I myself used to say it, that it is too much. I agree.
Okay.
But you see, you need it in a certain environment. Yeah. You can't have it in an environment where India is massively underperforming, and primarily because the stock market is doing badly relatively and all that, and FPIs are leaving. You need a certain time for that. And also, this gives the impression that the market itself is not of importance. And I am saying that the market should be seen as a separate thing, and I am the self-appointed representative of the market or of FPIs. But I'm saying the market can solve so many problems. The market is like an ad. It's an ad of the country. If the world sees that the market is down and the currency is down, without looking, they think that the budget is bad, which is what I keep recommending this book, The Halo Effect. The price also determines many things. And then, therefore, you will postpone things saying, no, that means nothing has changed. Everything changes. And why should we be, and it's, some of it you may say, we are overvalued and all, which I don't believe too much. Some of it is because we have extra taxes, extra STT, etc., which in bad time comes out. In good times, nobody cares because it absorbs, the fact that the performance.
You don't mind paying a little bit more. Yeah, you don't
mind. But you say it doesn't matter because overall. So what I'm saying is, it is for these times, and even now you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But please say it that, we are watching this closely and we are going to track it and, we are not letting it. Everything helps. But at that time to do an STT is like saying we don't care. And that is the negative part. Not so much that whether what is happening in EMS companies or what is happening in defense, obviously. And by the way, we still own all those. By the way, even yesterday, of course, before the budget started, we bought a lot for our FPI account. Some of these which actually did okay. But anyway, so the point is, nobody's walking away. So this idea, oh, if you don't like it, go to another country. If you don't like it, how come the market went up in 24? That's not the point.
Yeah.
It's like the textile guys want their relief, and all the time the auto guy says don't open to Chinese competition. We are saying please look at our market as one more independent sector, and not only that, if other things are doing well, this market will do well because there are so many other elements over and above.
Yeah. Samir,
liquidity, tax rates, commission rates, hundreds of things. Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing you. Government should at least give verbal support to markets, if not in action.
No. Verbal first, and then if needed action, not only verbal.
No. I want to get
that. But definitely not hurt the market at a time when it is anyway being isolated in the world as being a poor performer. Mostly we might be last in the world this year or something like that.
100%. So what will FPIs do now today? That is a big question. Will they become...
The thing is, FPIs were already selling, which is why I was saying yesterday, this cannot change it now. How will this change it? And also today, of course, the world is bad and all that. So I would think that FPIs would sell. I don't know. Because I'm a long only guy in that, and the long short, I keep doing various things. We actually, as I said, bought yesterday also, but okay, all before the budget. But what I'm saying is that I would think that because they were selling, in that context, at that time, we should not be doing things which are negative, because this means they will not change currently. Now, after 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, if there is a US deal or something which changes the sentiment for India relative to other markets, then it'd be different. But right now, how will that momentum stop?
So, Samir, I get the fact that you would have wanted an offset. But just analyzing the impact of STT standalone, are we over worried about the impact of it drying up liquidity in the market? Because in the past also STT has gone up and the overall market has gone up and we've managed to absorb it.
So I would think that all these big guys who come on your channel should worry. I am the smallest mutual fund and a small FII. So if it is good enough for all these guys who like it, then it's good enough for me. So I don't care about the liquidity part, basically because we are smaller than all the guys who don't care about it. So it's okay.
Okay. And so now that there's an STT hike and there are no incentives for FIIs, since you are the representative for the FPIs, self-appointed representative, does India need a higher equity risk premium, to your mind?
So right now it does, because the currency has come in and created a big problem. Another thing is that even in the days when, in the last 1 or 2 weeks, when the US dollar weakened a lot overnight, even then we used to open 10 basis points down and 20 basis points down while the rest of the world. And by the way, if you look at it in other currencies, it is dramatic. It is very, very, that's what I keep saying, that, it's embarrassing. I have a call this Friday with one European current investor. Now, how to explain? We keep saying we are a dollar fund, this, that, but we know that they are basically euro investors. And how to explain that, hang in there for 2 more years, 3 more years, because last 2 years they would have lost, if we look at it in their currency, maybe 20% on currency alone. These are very serious issues where, something had to be done. So that's why it's like, as I said, the point is, if in any other sector there is something bad happening, then temporarily the government helps. Like it temporarily reduces or increases some duties or reduces some import duties. It temporarily says, I will give textile industry lower cost loans. It had to temporarily, if not for permanently, help.
Yeah, no, 100%. Anything on the back of this budget to do this way, that way? Single stocks, anything? Samir?
So right now, we still haven't had a proper meeting with our analysts. This was my impression on that day of the instant this thing. So we'll see, but broadly 1 or 2 days. So definitely we're not going to do anything on the long side for sure, 100%. because I think the market will dominate rather than any one stock that may have done better. By the way, yesterday, even after budget, we did, I remember now, for that same account, we did buy one stock, which is 197. But again, I'm not buying more today.
You already own it in that sense.
Yeah, but yesterday for that other new FI account, I'm just saying that even after the budget, we were buying. So it's not that everything completely stops.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying broadly is that the market needed a bit of hand-holding support, words, and actually some action, maybe a promise of an action, at least if things go worse. And also to recognize that people are paying taxes in rupees and then losing on the currency. Somebody has to accept it and not say that because auto sector will do well and because defense sector will do well, therefore the market will automatically do well.
Right.
That it does most of the times in a steady state. But because of these extra frictional costs, which are now only in India primarily related to FPI taxes and now very high STT even in general.
Right.
That at some point you need it back and forth. That is what it is.
Okay, well, you're in a holding pattern. Wait and watch for the next 2 days. Samir, we'll speak to you again. But thank you so much for joining us joining us on the day of the budget, and of course joining us now as well. It's been.
I think Samir is sounding a little more upbeat today, actually, and at least some tinge of a green coat, at least a little better, Samir.
So I matched it with my green new specs.
Super.
And also, of course, what I want the market to still be.
And you deployed some money yesterday. That's why I'm saying a little bit more optimistic today, this morning, with those green specs, green coat, and hopefully green market later this week.
And an orange shirt.
And I'm sure, Samir, the advice is being heard and perhaps hopefully acted upon as well in the relevant quarters. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, I think that's Samir Arora, and so that's the view coming in. It is what it is, right?